Hey everyone, this is Chris and Sandy with the Customized Ride, and today we've got Michael from Run to the Sun Car Show.
Yes.
And to give y'all an idea, last year was our first traveling show that we went to for the Customized Ride, and Run to the Sun was it, and we loved it. So we're excited to have him back on again. So welcome to the show.
Welcome.
Thank you, guys.
So tell us a little bit about how long the show's been going on, what this year is, and all that.
Well, you can see behind me, this year's the 35th year that Run to the Sun has been going on. And we're just super, super excited. It's once again, this is the 15th year we've had it at the old Myrtle Square Mall location, right across from the convention center. And we're 2 blocks off the beach. So We've got a great location, 56 acres. And we're just excited. We already have 3,250 cars registered. We're going to have 140 swap meet vendors selling everything car related that you can think of, and a few other things. And then we have 18 different food vendors. So any kind of food you want, from sausage sandwiches to cheesesteaks to lobster rolls, you could find it at Run to the Sun.
Now, this year, you're having where it's non-transferable. Tell everybody why you did that.
Last year, we sold out about 10 days before the event for the car registrations. And this year, to allow more people to come, we limit it to 4 vehicles per household. We have a lot of people that have a big collection. They like to bring all of them. But we limit it to 4 vehicles per household. We sold out 5 weeks before the event started. And unfortunately, last year, we had a lot of people selling packets in their registrations that they couldn't come. They were selling them for a lot of money. And we just don't think that was very fair. So we extended the cutoff date for refunds up to March 1st from February 13th. So we did have quite a few people that were not able to come for whatever reason, health reasons, car isn't running, travel plans changed. So we were able to try and get as many people in as we can, but unfortunately we're kind of landlocked. You can see the picture behind me. Our lot is huge, and the car show is about as much as we can possibly handle, but we just don't have any more room. And as you guys know, Chris and Sandy, when you were there last year, during the day on Friday and Saturday afternoon, it gets very, very crowded. It's there's tons of people in every aisle, lots of cars, a lot of fun. So we're really excited.
That's like me as a media person. Well, I've already mapped it out. What I'm going to do is, like, Thursday is going to be my big day where I get as much content as I can, because I learned last year not many people were around on Thursday of walking. But once Friday and Saturday came, I mean, it was just jam-packed.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, most people are courteous in terms of, if you guys want a video or take pictures, they will move out of your way. But yeah, you're right. On Thursday, there's a lot less spectators up and down the aisles, especially before about noon or 1 o'clock. But Thursday, we had good weather last year. We had a lot more people than we expected on a Thursday. Friday was amazing weather, as you know. Got a little bit of rain on Saturday morning, so the crowd was pretty thin up until about 11 o'clock after the rain went away. And it got,
I think Friday it even got in the 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll hope for good weather this year.
Yes.
So you just took the show over a couple of years ago. How's that transition been for you?
This is our 3rd year. It's gotten a little bit easier. We still get a lot of support from the PD Street Riders, who had started the show and run it for 32 years. And they've done an amazing job with it. We try not to change too much. We've added the celebrity area, and we try to change that up every year. This year we have Tom Wopat and the Luke Duke coming with the General Lee. And we also have the Blues Brothers coming all the way from Canada with their Bluesmobile. So we're excited about that. But other than that, really, Chris, we try not to change a lot. We're just the same show that we've tried to be for the last 34 years. And people really enjoy it. And we have quite a following. So I think last year we had close to 16,000 people on Thursday and Friday, a few less on Saturday because of the rain in the morning. But, we're really fortunate. Myrtle Beach is such a great place to have a car show. the whole city accommodates, as you know, all the folks that come in from everywhere. Over 80% of the people coming to the event are from outside the Myrtle Beach area. So it's quite an event, not only for us, but also for business owners, hotels, restaurants, everybody in the city.
You know, what's funny is we live in Savannah, so we're coming from Savannah. And, you know, St. Patrick's Day weekend, as you know, is the biggest Savannah celebration there is. But to be honest with you, we would rather be away from Savannah anyway. So this always works perfect.
Yes.
My daughter just graduated from school in Savannah, and she gets to miss the big party down there. So, but yeah, Saturday night in Myrtle Beach, I think, is a lot of fun. We don't go out with the young kids anymore, but it's going to be quite a few parties. I think North Myrtle Beach has their parade late Saturday afternoon, and then their big festival Saturday night. So, yeah.
Now, I know that they're not connected to Run to the Sun, but what are a couple of the meets that you recommend people go to outside of the Run to the Sun?
There's quite a few. We actually published them on our Facebook page last week. Before the event, there's several shows. One of them that I can think of off the top of my head, Jack's Wax in Myrtle Beach is hosting a before the run show on Wednesday evening. They're also hosting an after the run show on Saturday evening. The C10 Car Club has a show Saturday evening as well. The Pirate Fair RV Park has a show on Saturday evening. Rats at the Beaver all day Friday, and that goes pretty late. So they've got some pretty good draft beer specials and a lot of really cool cars. So unfortunately, we work pretty late in the evening. I've been meaning to try and get down there every year, but it's been tough. So Justin's a friend of ours and Run to the Sun, and we work closely with him. So.
And I'm glad that you promote like hosted meets, because I'm sure you've seen what's happened with the Lone Star Showdown this last weekend, where they lost for next year. They lost their permit because you had some people that got together, took over a Kroger parking lot, and they plastered their logo and called it part of that.
Oh, I wasn't aware of that. You know, I think it's good for all of us to work together in terms of, you know, most of the folks that come in to Run to the Sun, the show is Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Most people are staying for the entire week. So they rented their condos or their hotel for the whole week. They're looking for stuff to do all the way from the Saturday before Run to the Sun through Sunday after Run to the Sun. So we're fortunate to work with a lot of other local folks that are putting on other events. And, you know, we're 1989 and older. There's a lot of newer cars that are really cool. We just unfortunately don't have room for them. And so there's other events that they're able to participate in aside from just Run to the Sun.
Now, as the years go by, is that 89 ever going to move a little bit, or is it just going to always be 89er?
Well, I think it's really difficult for us to make it newer when we've sold out. Like, I think it's sold out the last 10 or 12 years. Last year was the first year we sold out prior to the event starting because we've been selling our tickets online through Eventbrite. In the past, we've always sold out the first or second day that the event has started. So I think it's a lot more convenient. Last year and this year, we mailed everybody their packets. So we expect probably about 1,300 to 1,400 cars to come in Wednesday afternoon. Folks that like to leave their car for the weekend and keep their same parking spot. Other folks drive in and out every day, which is great. And we're open at 8 o'clock in the morning. Usually the cars start lining up a little bit before that. We let them in a little bit early so we don't block the street, especially on Thursday and Friday with the school right around the corner from us.
Yeah, because I remember last year, you know, like I said, this was our first traveling car show. We did a lot of meets and shows locally in Savannah and within 2 hours. I consider 2 hours away, Jacksonville, Charleston, still kind of local when you count car shows. But this was our first kind of traveling one because 4 hours away. And I'll never forget, you know, when y'all said 3,250 cars last year, I didn't comprehend how big that was until we showed up.
Yeah, it's hard to get around and see all the cars. So, yeah.
So do y'all have like sections or like a pro street section or things like that there? Or
We don't. It's just so difficult to reserve spots with so many people coming and going each day.
yeah,
And
Yeah.
this year we're taking about 100 less cars because the area in the middle is getting really soft with the sand in there.
Oh,
And
okay.
we also have like 1.5 rows less vendors. So
mm,
hopefully that'll
Mhm.
be a lot less people parked in the sand if it gets really busy. So we try not to cut it down too much, but at the same time, it's hard to with the Jeep Jam there in the fall, and they do a really nice job with their event. But they dig up the middle of the where the mall used to be, and
yeah.
it's hard to get that sand packed back down to be able to put cars in there. So
Now, do y'all lease that land there?
yes, we rent it for the week, and then we're responsible to get everything set up and tear it down. So it's a lot of work. Like I said, we have over 100 folks that help us out with the event,
Wow.
and the MS Society has about 15 volunteers that are helping them sell raffle tickets this year. I'm sorry, the MS Society is doing the silent auction, and the
Wow.
McLeod Cancer Hospital out of Florence is doing their 50-50 raffle again.
Oh, love that. So how many, if you know off the hand, that you have like a pro street style? That's kind of my favorite of all the cars. I love pro street.
Oh boy, I mean, there is everything. There's a big concentration in late 60s and early 70s muscle cars. You have a lot of trucks from the 80s, but we also go all the way back to Model Ts, and there's
I
everything
love
at our
those.
event. And
I love the Model
that is really
A's with
yeah,
the double door Model A's. Those would look really cool.
yeah. So I mean, I think that's what people like about our show is they can find all the stuff that they like, but then they see other stuff that they didn't know that they liked, and they see every bit of it from pristine auction Barrett Jackson cars that are hundreds of thousands of dollars
Mhm.
to everyone's daily driver that they made it into the show and it's special to them, and people get to see them. So I'm going to
So if
open up
you
my window a little bit. It's getting dark.
Okay.
There
so
we
with
go.
you running the show, what is one misconception that people have as you as an event manager that you wish people understood? I'm sure you got tons, but maybe one or two, just because again, people don't understand what you got to go through to pull all this together.
Chris, that's a very loaded question. I would say the two big things that I'm always dealing with is the scooter policy and the service dog policy.
Ah,
We have a dog and everyone loves pets, but having them around expensive cars and around other people's dogs sometimes is not always a good thing.
yeah,
We do allow service animals to come in, service dogs to come in. No pet rats or snakes or anything of that nature, but it's just really difficult. There are a lot of shows where people can bring their dogs, but as you know, it's just so crowded, and the worst thing we want to have happen is someone's dog jump on someone's car, or a kid tries to pet the dog and it doesn't really,
yeah,
it's not as friendly as
because they always say, "Oh, it don't bite," and then that's the one that bites.
yeah. So that's a big thing. And then, people just don't, I think, sometimes appreciate how crowded it gets and how many hazards there are where we only allow single person scooters. We just don't have room in the aisles
We
for
don't.
much more than that for golf carts or big scooters or I don't even know what they call all of them. So yeah, we would like to have no rules and policies and procedures, but we just have to have them with that many people in one location. We have 2 EMT crews there all weekend. We have 6 gentlemen from the sheriff's department there directing traffic. We hire 17 or 18 security guards, including the folks that are there overnight watching all the equipment and the cars that decide to stay overnight. And the Myrtle Beach Police Department is great for us. As you see how many police vehicles are around town and around the event, the signs they put up for folks to hopefully drive a little bit slower down Kings Highway with everyone crossing over from the hotel. So, we try to do the best we can to accommodate as many people as we can and also provide a safe environment, where everybody can enjoy themselves for the weekend.
And let's face it, I mean, it's just impossible to please everybody.
We try.
I mean, you try.
Yeah.
She's going to go get our son. He always asks a couple questions.
Yes, and
Oh,
he's
sure.
very excited about Run to the Sun. He loves cars. I'll go get him.
Yeah, it's
I'm
funny.
afraid he asks a lot tougher questions than you and Sandy do.
He does.
Yeah. What's funny is we go to all these car shows and I'm like, okay, maybe I stuck my foot in my mouth because now, I mean, he's 12, he just turned 12, but when he gets 16, he wants a Pro Street Corvette.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, okay, that's gonna be interesting. Because he sees all this going on and all that, but he loves it because me and him will be the ones pretty much covering the show. He's my little backup person, and some of we even go to like drag strips, and sometimes the drag strip will let him come with me behind this thing, and he loves that. Now, granted, I have to sign like I'm responsible for him. But
while we're waiting for him, you can tell. We're going to have you guys up on stage. I can't remember off the top of my head what day, but we're going to do
Friday at 3.
Friday at 3 o'clock. We're going to do announcements and the welcome, the Star Spangled, the national anthem, and the prayer at 9 o'clock each morning. Mm-hmm. At 11 and 3 or 11 at 1 o'clock, we're going to give out some awards and have folks up on stage. So I think we changed that to 1 o'clock.
Okay.
Chris instead of 3 on Friday. Saturday, we have the car and truck of the year coming up at 1 o'clock to be awarded. And at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, between 3 and 4 o'clock, we're going to do the drawing for the door prize from Capital Vacations. They're giving away a 3-night, 4-day stay at one of their resorts. They have over 200 locations to choose from. And we're also going to do the drawing for the 50-50 raffle. Okay. Last year, actually, we didn't do it last year. Years prior, 5 people won upwards of $2,500 each.
Oh, wow.
And the other half of the money is donated to the McLeod Center in Florence.
You definitely got to love that. So anything else what's the schedule with Luke Duke and the other celebrities you got, or whoever all you got? They're
there from, I think, around 10 o'clock in the morning until just after 4 o'clock. Okay. Both of them will be taking pictures with everybody. And yeah, the Hammond brothers, as well as Tom Wopat, very, very personable. We've talked to them on the phone several times.
Oh, wow.
Look forward to seeing them. Yeah, my wife and I have been binge watching the Dukes of Hazzard the last couple of weeks.
What's funny is this is kind of like a full circle for my wife and I, because before the Customized Ride, we did a show called the Chris and Sandy Show. We interviewed actors and artists and all that. And one of the people we interviewed was John Snyder, Bo Duke.
Yeah.
So this is pretty cool that now we get the other one. So it's kind of like a crazy full circle here.
Yeah. I've never met Tom, but I did meet Schneider and also Catherine Bach at other car shows.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I guess he's coming. I'll see when to go get him, but
the sun keeps going in and out here in front of my office. Hopefully that'll cut some of it out.
You know, one thing that we learned last year too that I really loved, and of course the officers kept it cool and all that, but you had a lot of people on cruise the Beach Boulevard, which was pretty cool.
The PD Street Rodders, when they started the show and moved it to Myrtle Beach from Florence, they had a big cruise up and down the strip. Unfortunately, it's the same thing that's happened in other locations. In Ocean City, we go every year to their shows. Yeah. People just get out of hand. They stop at the lights and then do burnouts, and people have run off the road. It just got to be too much liability. So there are people cruising. We're not as much of a cruising show as some of the other ones you've been to, but there are people driving up and down the street. And we support all the other shows. If someone else was going to do that, we would support it. But we have so much on our plate that weekend. Just opening up the event at 8 o'clock in the morning and closing at 5. We're working from 6 o'clock in the morning till well after 7 or 8 at night. So to have something else going on, it's just not anything that we are able to take on. And
Exactly. And of course, the cruising that's on each individual person. I get that. But what I liked about last year, no, it actually did not get out of control. And you had a lot of officers along the strip to make sure it didn't get out of control. But you had quite a bit of cars coming through, and it was really cool to see.
yeah, I think Saturday night, if I'm not mistaken, the younger kids come in with the squatted trucks, and they kind of took
They're
over
usually
the
the ones
town,
that mess it up.
they really brought traffic to a grinding halt. But
Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah, it was Friday night was pretty bad, but Saturday night, you're right, it was dead stop. And I remember that. I think that was when Myrtle Beach's squatted law just took effect, so they were towing left and right the squatted vehicles. Which now, as you know, this whole state has a law; it can't be more than 4 inches above.
yeah, so I don't know what that's going to do for traffic on Saturday evening again. So we'll just have to wait and see.
Yep.
All right, hey Michael. So what are some exciting cars for Run the Sun this year?
Pardon me?
What are some of the exciting cars for Run the Sun this
So
year?
what are some of the exciting cars that you got coming?
Well, the General Lee will be there, and the Bluesmobile will definitely be there. So those are definitely cool cars. But as you know, there's every make and model car that imaginable, from early 20s up to 89. So you can find just about anything you want to see there.
All right, and what's your favorite car?
My favorite car is, you asked me this last year, that's my 1986 Alfa Romeo convertible.
Did it change? Yeah, or same one?
No, I have the same car. I've had it for quite a while. Actually, it's very similar to the car that my dad had when I was in high school, so I got to drive it all the time. I was just talking to somebody about this yesterday. My uncle taught me how to drive a stick shift. Not on my dad's car, but he taught me how to drive a stick shift, and I've tried to teach both my kids how to drive it. They don't seem to take much interest in it. But
you know what's funny is when this is how I learned to drive a stick. We went to go get me a new truck. We went to the Mitsubishi car lot. I was 18 years old, and we get in the car lot, and the one I picked that I wanted was a stick shift. So my dad went to go test drive it, and we pulled over, and he said, "Okay, let's see if you can drive this thing." And he said, "Just remember, the clutch at your foot is just like the clutch on a motorcycle with your hand." He's the same concept. I never had that trouble.
Yeah, it's definitely fun to drive. It's not in show condition whatsoever, so we don't really take it to any shows. But my wife and I get to tool around in it a little bit over the summer every year. But yeah, I guess my other dream car would not be a classic car, but it would be probably a new mid-engine Corvette. I would get it in bright yellow if I was allowed to buy another car.
So any more?
No, that's it. All right, bye.
Thank you.
So as we finish up here, any final words?
Not really. We just thank you to Chris and Sandy for covering the show. We'll do a better job this year, posting a lot more videos and pictures online as soon as the show is over, so the website's updated. But yeah, that's about it. We're looking forward to seeing everybody in Myrtle Beach. A lot of folks I know will be there the entire week. We open up the gates from 3 to 5 p.m. on Wednesday for folks that are looking to leave their car for the weekend. And the vendors and everybody else will be open at 8 o'clock on Thursday morning, 14th.
And we're coming up on Wednesday. So,
well, great. Look forward to seeing you guys.
So anybody that watches this, be sure to check Run to the Sun out. Go runthesun.com. Get all the info you can. This is a show you do not want to miss. This will be our second time covering it, and we're excited. So
great. Thank you so much, Chris.